Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. It's time for another episode of Tuesday Live at 5. This is Lena Gersa. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. And today I am all about the just released gorgeous collection of products called Fitting Florets. Now this collection, I guess I should call it, it's not really a suite, I guess technically it is, but it's a collection of products. It just came out today to customers, and it features a sneak peek bundle from the upcoming mini catalog. Now, in addition to that, there's also some exclusive products that are only available while supplies last. So there's a whole lot going on in this suite. I'm going to kind of show you all the different products, and I'm going to explain which ones are going to be around for a while and which ones you need to jump on right away before they sell out. Now, before I get going on our projects today, I just found out, I'm kind of like shocked. I'm actually in absolute shock. Stampin' Up! Just posted the list of top achievers for the business year that just ended September 30th. So the Stampin' Up! Business year goes from October 1st to September 30th. And next week at Onstage, I'll be traveling to Montreal next weekend for our Onstage event, which is our convention. And they will be recognizing top achievers in various categories with the company. So today they posted the list of the people that are being recognized, and I just found out, I can't believe it. I am number 13 in Canada, which is, it's mind-blowing to me because I'm going to cry, because this is, I do this because I love it. I do it because I love to share creativity. I just love playing with paper and ink, and I love sharing it with all of you. And the fact that I get to actually do this and provide for my family and do things that we wouldn't otherwise be able to do, like take trips and all of those things, is it's really icing on a really awesome cake. So when I joined Stampin' Up! Way back 12 years ago in 2010, I joined because I wanted a discount on my products, and that was really the only reason. In fact, my husband made me promise not to try and run a business because I was too busy. I had a toddler at the time and was working full time, and I promised him that it was just going to be to save some money. And one thing led to another, and here I am 12 years later, ranked at number 13 overall in Canada, which is just completely was not part of the plan. So I first of all want to say thank you to all of you, because you are all a big part of the reason for my success. All of you who watch my videos and like and comment and share. I couldn't do what I do without all of you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting my little business, and just you are the reason for my success. So thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to stop there, because if I go any farther, I'm going to really tear up and it'll get messy. So we're going to move on, and we're going to get to today's projects. So I'm going to flip the camera. Before I do that, look at that. I'm all flustered and discombobulated. I'm going to pull up my video here on the iPad so I can see who's joining me, because that's important. I need to know who's watching. Here we go. It's a little sluggish today. All right. Who have we got? Oh, you guys are all so sweet. Hi, Laura. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Jill. Hi, other Laura. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. I so appreciate it. Hi, Elfie. Hi, Krista. Hi, Jeanette. I won't cry on my cards, Jill. I'm going to stop because honestly, I'm a messy, ugly crier. So I'm just going to stop. My students have seen me bawl so many times in class. They know I'm a big sap because they make me cry. They are so wonderful, and I love teaching them. And so we're not going to go there because it's not pretty. So I'm going to flip the camera. We are going to get to these gorgeous products, and I'm going to show you some projects. I'm going to make 3 with you. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of a class that I just launched today that uses these products. And I'm going to show you some other samples. So I got lots to share with you. Okay, so stop talking, no crying, and I'm going to flip the camera. Here we go. All right, look at those gorgeous products. So pretty. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty good, and I'm even almost straight. All right, so we have, as I said, a whole bunch going on with this collection. So to start, I'm going to start with the bundle that will be in the upcoming minis. So these 2 products, the stamp set and dies, they are a bundle. You can get them at a bundle discount now, will be in the new mini that comes out in January. Okay, so these will be around for a while, but honestly, you're not going to want to wait to get them because they're so fantastic. So we have this gorgeous stamp set, beautiful florals. They're all line art, so fantastic for colorers like me. Beautiful sentiments with lovely fonts. Now, these are 95%, okay? They're not full-size images. You'll see the size of the images when I actually stamp with them. And then, of course, we have coordinating dies. We've got open dies that cut out the floral images. We've got layering oval frames. Finally, I have missed my ovals so much. So we've got ovals back in our collection again, as well as some dies that cut some leaves and sprigs. So you're going to see those in action today as well. So that's the bundle that will be around for a while. Okay. I'm going to set that aside. Then we have this limited release stamp set. So this is to make this bundle work, or these products work really well for Christmas. We have this fantastic holiday themed sentiment set. They're large sentiments, which are great because they can be the focal point on your project, which is awesome. So this is while supplies last. Okay, so you're going to want to jump on this. And honestly, if you're going to be purchasing to use on your Christmas cards, you're going to want to do that sooner than later anyway, because time's a wasted and it's already November, right? So there's the stamp set. And then we have some accessories. So I'll get to those embellishments in a minute. First of all, we have gorgeous designer paper. This is also while supplies last. Okay, so the paper will not be in the mini, but it is absolutely stunning. So we've got gorgeous florals. Love, love, love this color combination. You're going to see that on one of our projects today. More florals. Love the combination of navy, what is this? Balmy blue, evening evergreen, and soft succulent. Such a great combo. Some mistletoe or holly berries, depending what color you leave them, and then gorgeous florals that are begging to be fussy cut. Some of these actually can be cut out with the dies as well, so I'll quick show you that. So this die here cuts out these double flowers here, and there are several of them on this sheet that can all be cut with that die. So that's one side of the DSP. Let me flip us over here. And then we have some gorgeous, more subdued patterns, but equally beautiful in just a whole host of colors. So we've got polished pink and blushing bride, balmy blue, soft succulent, evening evergreen. Just a great color palette in this DSP. So that's the DSP. And then, of course, we have embellishment. So these are called gold adhesive backed swirls. Now, I'm not sure how well this is going to show up on the camera, but they sort of have just sort of an embossed pattern in them. So they're like a yellowy gold, and they have sort of a swirl embossed pattern on them. They're really, really pretty. So those are also while supplies last. So the accessories, the DSP and the embellishments and the framed and festive stamp set, these are while supplies last. Okay, so just if you need to prioritize, I know we all have a crafting budget that we need to observe. So if you're trying to plan your purchases, that's what you're going to want to prioritize. Okay, all right. Let's see. Oh, we've got a bunch who have joined us. Let's just see who else has popped in. Hi, Linda. Hi, Lori. Oh, you're catching me live for the first time. That's awesome. Welcome. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Louise. Hi, Cheryl. It was so great to meet you last week. Thank you for joining me today. All right, so here we go. First project we're going to do today is this one. So this one's really all about those beautiful florals in the DSP. So I'm going to show you how I did this one. It's really quick. Thanks to the DSP, the only stamping on this is our sentiment. So I'm going to pull out... Actually, I'm going to pull out all my parts and pieces here. We'll set the card base aside for a minute. But we're going to start with this oval. Now, I should explain what this is cut with. So this one is actually cut with this frame. So this actually cuts not only this gorgeous frame shape, but it also cuts the oval from the inside so you can layer it. Okay? So we are going to use that oval to stamp our sentiment on. So let's grab our sentiment stamp and some evening evergreen ink. I'm just going to set these guys aside for a sec so they're out of my way. Here we go. All right. So we're going to start with So Lucky to Call You Friends. And I love this. I have several people that I could send this card to who I feel very lucky to call friends. And so we're going to stamp this pretty much in the center of our oval, just straight across like that. Okay. And then it's a matter really of assembly. So to start, I have a gorgeous piece of basic white cardstock. It's cut to 4 by 5¼ inches, and then it's embossed using the Quatrefoil stamp set. And I love the way that embossed pattern kind of echoes the shape of the oval frame. I just think they work really well together. So we're gonna go ahead and glue that frame down. Now I just noticed I haven't poked all my little bits out, which is kind of tedious. I'm sorry that I forgot to do that ahead of time. I should mention that this frame is cut from our rose gold foil specialty paper. So this is in the annual catalog, easy to miss. But I love the sort of soft pink of this paper. It's a little bit softer than a gold and works so beautifully with the colors in this DSP. So I'm just going to get rid of all those little bits. Oh, didn't get them all. Let's get these last two. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and glue this down. I'm going to use just a bit of liquid glue, if I can find it. Where did my liquid glue go? My liquid glue is missing. It's okay. There's always one within reach. All right, so we're going to add just a little dab of glue, sort of to the, can I call it corners, I guess? The corners of the frame, even though it's an oval. Can an oval have corners? I don't know, maybe. All right, so we're going to pop this on, and I'm just going to center it on my frame here. I'm just going to give it a second, hold that down to make sure that it adheres. Hi, Cheryl, welcome. Hi, Diane. All right, so we've got that stuck down. Now we're going to go ahead and glue our stamped oval in the center. Again, we're not going to pop it just yet. We're going to pop our flowers, but we're not going to pop our oval here. So that's going to nestle right inside that frame because they're cut using the same die, which is pretty sweet. Just going to pop that in there like that. Okay. And then I have some fussy cut images from the DSP. So here are some die cut little leaves. Again, I forgot to cut or poke my bits out here. So we'll just get rid of those really quickly. And then I have some images that I fussy cut. Aren't these gorgeous florals? Oh, I love them. Now, I'm going to show you this one I used up here, but you see this leaf? You see how it's kind of sticking out? It kind of gets in the way of my sentiment, so I'm actually going to trim that off. So I'm just going to follow the shape of that leaf and trim it off, and nobody will ever know it was there. You won't tell them, right? All right, so there we go. Now, I love the look of die cut images along with fussy cut images from DSP. So I'm going to add just a couple of those die cut leaves to my DSP image there. Just to add an extra little bit of color and contrasting texture. Okay, and then that is going to get popped up on the front of my card front. So I'm going to add a couple of dimensionals. Yes, I know, I'm dimensional crazy. Oh, we need one more there. Okay, so we'll get rid of our backings. And we're going to pop this on. Right about there. And I just want to take care that I'm not covering up any of the words, right? So I'm just kind of nestling that there. And then our other one, again, we're going to add a couple of these extra die cut leaves. So we're going to kind of add, what am I going to do? This is the opposite direction. See how my yellow flowers are on the right and they're on the left here? It doesn't really matter, but it will affect where I put my leaves. These guys are going to go here, I think. There we go. We're going to stick that on right about there. Again, we're going to add a couple of dimensionals. I went light on, oh, I got to put one more. Sorry, guys. One more there. There we go. And we're going to pop this on. So these beautiful florals from the designer paper make putting together a card really quick and easy, right? There we go. So that is our card front. Now, this is going to get layered on a rose gold panel. However, you'll see that I actually first cut my frame out of my mat. When I go to glue this on, we're not going to see that there's something cut out of it, but that's a good way not to waste your foil, because the foil is pricey, right? Where is my seal? Where have all of my tools gone? Hang on. Oh, my seal's right in front of me. Oh my goodness, you guys. I told you I was kind of like discombobulated by that Top Achievers announcement. Holy smokes, I am not. I shouldn't be doing a live after getting that news. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and layer our card fronts over top, and you'll never know, no one will ever know that there is a frame cut from that panel. Okay, now it's just a matter of layering that onto our card base. So we have a thick basic white card base here. It's 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored in the middle at 5 1/2. Yes, I know a couple is too. Well, I use couple loosely. So that's, if you hang around me long enough, you too will become a dimensionals addict. All right. We'll add a little bit of seal here and pop this onto our card fronts. Just like that. And there we go. Isn't that pretty? I just love that rose gold paper with this DSP. I just think it works so, so well. All right, now did I do anything on this one? Yeah, I just added a little stamped sentiment. Just a little reminder that you are loved. I love it. Okay, so that is number 1. We'll set this out of the way and clean up a bit of my mess here. And we're going to bring in number 2. So we're going to switch gears to Christmas for a minute, but we're not going to go full Christmas because we're going to do something a little bit untraditional or non-traditional. So I love playing with non-traditional color palettes for the holidays. And I love this sort of sprig and berry pattern in the DSP because I think it works really well. So the colors here are Night of Navy, Balmy Blue, and Polished Pink, which is a really unexpected combination for Christmas, but I think it totally works. So let's put this one together. We're gonna do a little bit of stamping, a little bit of coloring. I've done most of our coloring ahead of time, but I did want to show you how I colored that image, and I wanted you to see how beautifully this stamp set works. So I'm going to start moving all my bits out of the way here. I'm going to start with a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of basic white. Okay, you can see I've already stamped one of the sprays of florals there and colored it. So I'm just going to show you what I did just to get this centered because I do want my florals to be centered. So I have here 4 by 1 inch strips of the DSP. And we're just going to kind of lay those where they're going to end up glued. I'm not gluing them on yet because it's always a good idea to stamp first to make sure that you're happy with your stamped image before you start gluing things down. Because if you glue these guys down and then you're not happy with your stamped image, then you're going to be wasting your DSP. You're going to either have to flip your cardstock or start all over, right? So this way, we're not wasting our DSP. So I'm going to stamp this gorgeous floral spray in some Memento black ink. Now I did just re-ink this, so it should be in pretty good shape. So I'm going to stamp this centered towards the top of my card front here. Okay, then I can take my DSP off. We're going to do a little coloring. So let's swing this around. So my color palette is here. I used light Night of Navy for the larger leaves. So I'm going to go ahead and do those first just because it's the one I have in my hand. So you may be wondering, okay, blue leaves, really, Lena? Yes, blue leaves. Today my leaves are blue. That's just the way it is. Right? When we're being creative, we can make our leaves any color we want. I could have made them purple if I wanted to. Wouldn't have worked with my DSP very well, but I could have. So I'm coloring I'm not doing any shading. I'm just filling in the image here with my light Night of Navy Stampin' Blends. Now you do want to make sure when you're using Stampin' Blends, I've had a couple people comment that their blends really bleed badly. You want to make sure you are using good quality cardstock when you're stamping. Usually once I start sort of probing to find out what cardstock people are using when they're getting that really bad bleed, it's because they're not using our basic white cardstock. And our blends are designed to work best with our basic white cardstock. So if you find that you are getting really bad bleeding when you're using your Stampin' Blends and you're not sure why, it could be because you're using less than great quality cardstock. I know the stuff from Michaels here in Canada is not great. Doesn't have the same the pressure that is used to press the fibers together. It isn't as dense, and so it bleeds quite a bit more. So try some of our basic white, or even better, our shimmery white cardstock, and you will be amazed at how much better your Stampin' Blends work. So there's my little plug for basic white cardstock. It's worth paying the extra to get the quality. Okay, so I colored those flowers with my dark balmy blue. Okay, then I'm going to come in and color the other flowers with my, what color is this? Dark polished pink. So again, I'm just going to fill these in. I'm not worrying about shading or anything. I'm just filling them in. I'm trying to go quick, but again, I'm also trying to stay in the lines. I know it's a little bit boring and tedious to watch somebody color, so I'm trying to be quick without making a mess. This is where you need to have like Jeopardy theme music or something going on. Somebody want to sing? I would, but it probably wouldn't go well. My voice is a little bit tired after a day of teaching. Okay, there we go. Now we're also going to fill in the center of our blue flower here. And then we're going to color our other leaves with light shaded spruce. Shaded spruce? Yes. So these ones go pretty quick because it really just takes one stroke of the brush. Now the shaded spruce is kind of a surprising color. It's not part of the DSP, but I really felt like this holiday card needed just a little pop of green for it to work as a Christmas card. So I pulled in the shaded spruce. I felt like the light worked a little bit better than the dark. So that's what I went with, and I feel like it works. So a couple more leaves here to fill in. There we go. And then finally the little sprigs, I'm going to color using my light balmy blue. So are these little sort of sprig guys here. And literally it's so quick. There's so little ink that you're putting down here because they're such tiny areas. It's just a quick swipe of the brush to fill those in. Okay, and there's our colored card front. Isn't that a great floral? I love this image. All right, so now we can go ahead and glue our DSP strips on. Now that it's safe to do so, we've done our coloring and stamping. We know it's all looking good. So I'm going to glue these along each edge, right, flush up to the edge. So again, these are 1 by 4 inch strips. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So we'll pop this one on, just like that. Oh, thanks, Michelle. Like I said, I'm still kind of in shock. It was not very unexpected. This was not my best year in history, but clearly it was a good one. All right, so we're going to go ahead and layer this onto a piece of polished pink cardstock. It's a 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, so 1/8 of an inch larger. So we're going to go ahead and layer that. We'll pop that on. Cheryl, you absolutely can get this suite. It is available now, and you will get your demonstrator discount on it. So it is orderable right now as we speak. All right, so we've got our layers. Then we're going to go ahead and mount that onto a Night of Navy card base. So this is 5.5 by 8.5 inches, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. So we'll crease that along our score line and add a little adhesive. And the beauty of putting this on right now is that it doesn't matter which direction I put it. I don't have to worry about getting it upside down because it's the same both ways up until we put our sentiment on. Okay, so now you just want to make sure that your card is the way you want it before you put your sentiment on. Ask me how I know. All right, so I have a bit of scrap basic white. I'm going to bring in my Night of Navy ink pad and one of the sentiments from the Framed and Festive stamp set. So this is the one that's While Supplies Last. So I'm going to ink up my Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And then we're going to pop that out using the decorative circle punch. This is from the annual catalog. I find myself reaching for this one a lot. It's a great size and just an interesting shape. Quicker than die cutting, obviously. So that is going to then get layered on a die cut stitched circle. This is cut using the Stylish Shapes dies, which actually I think are on low inventory right now. Or they may even be not orderable. I haven't checked. They were on low inventory last time I checked. That's because they're awesome dies. Just gonna put in a plug for these ones too. They're also in the annual. So we're gonna go ahead and layer our circle, our decorative circle, onto our die cut circle. So that's gonna get centered just between our little sprays there. So we'll just add a little bit of liquid glue and pop that on. And again, I'm just gonna, yep, we're opening the right way. Make sure we're not creating a challenge for the recipient. Now on my sample, I did actually use some Wink of Stella on my flowers. I didn't bring it over here, but you could easily apply some Wink of Stella to make it sparkle a bit. And then for even more sparkle, we're going to add some of our metallic ribbon. So this is actually Starry Sky ribbon, but it works really well with the navy. Now I tied a triple bow here. Triple bow doesn't have to be anything fancy. You're just going to take 3 lengths of ribbon. So I just kind of fold it back on itself. Okay. And then the big trick here is to keep them lying flat, not let them twist. So I'm going to make, actually, I'm going to do it this way. Our 2 bunny ears. I got to move this down a bit. I'd say it's not hard, and then I can't seem to get my fingers to work today. There we go. Okay, so I've got my 2 bunny ears. I'm going to cross them over. This is not going to work for me. Let's try it again. 1. I need a longer length. That's what my problem is. I made it too short. There we go. So I'm actually going to do this a little bit differently. So I'm going to make my loop, and then I'm going to bring my second loop around and pull it through. So this is the same way I do my twine bows, if you've ever watched me tie those. And it just makes it a little bit easier to navigate when you've got 3 strands of ribbon that you're trying to wrangle. Okay, and of course, when you have a multi-layered bow, you kind of want to separate the layers so that you can tell that it's multiple layers. And then we're just going to trim that. And I like to also trim my tails different lengths because that kind of emphasizes the fact that they are several layers. So we're going to trim these guys a little bit shorter and longer. There we go. It's kind of like giving it a haircut. There you go. Just start by snipping little bits off and then stop when you're happy with it. That's the plan there. So that's going to get glued just to the base of our circle. As soon as I find my glue dots. Oh, Joyce, I'm sorry. Yeah, triple bows are they're not hard. I mean, I certainly made it look harder than it was by not being able to do it the first time. The thing is, you want to give yourself lots of length when you're working on it, okay? It can be a little bit temperamental to wrangle if you're trying to be stingy with the ribbon, okay? And then I forgot to bring my iridescent rhinestones, so I'll just show you on the sample where I place them. So I've got iridescent rhinestones placed in several spots around my sprays here, just for some extra bling, because every Christmas card should sparkle. All right. I don't think I didn't do anything on the inside of this one, but there you go. That is number 2. Let me clean up my mess. And we're going to move on to number 3. So we went from sort of non-traditional Christmas, and now we're going to go more traditional. So good old red and green. And this one actually follows a sketch challenge that I have issued to my team for this month. We are working with a sketch that was designed by one of our Stamping Symphony members. And this is actually one of my takes on the sketch. I actually really love it, and I've played with it a bunch. So you're going to see this card layout come up a few times in the next month or so. But I love the different DSPs. And again, there's that beautiful spray image. So let's pull in all of those goodies. And we'll get to it. So to start, I have a piece of basic white cardstock embossed with the Merry Melody embossing folder, one of my very favorites. Why? Because, well, I'm a music teacher, and my team is the Stamping Symphony, so I am all about the music. So just a tip, when you are using this folder, you want to use it right side up, or if you give your card to a musician, it will drive them crazy that your notes are upside down. So if you catch the clefs, or the numbers, the numbers should read right side up. If you don't catch those, here's a tip. When you have a stem that is going upwards on a music note, the little flag should kick out to the right. Okay. If you have a stem that's going downwards, see this one, if I put this upside down, the stem's going up, but the flag's kicking out to the left. That's wrong. It goes this way. Okay. If the stem's going downwards, the flag tucks underneath to the right, but always flags kick out to the right when you're looking at music notes. Okay, so that's my little music notation tip for you. All right, so we're going to take that piece and we are going to add a piece of that gorgeous DSP. This is cut to 5 by 2 inches. So it's just a little bit shorter than our cardstock. So we're going to go ahead and add a bit of adhesive. And we're going to pop this on just like that. Okay, And then we have another piece of DSP. This is actually cut to 4x2, so it's 1 inch shorter. But before we glue it down, we're actually going to color our berries red. Now, it totally will work with white, but I wanted just a couple little pops of red on this card. So I'm going to bring in my dark cherry cobbler Stampin' Blends, and I'm just going to color the berries. So this is just like coloring any other image, except it's kind of reversed. Normally we're coloring something that has a light outside. This is darker outside. We're coloring the light area. So I'm just going to take and fill in those berries. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is not going to be super prominent on our card, but I just want that little bit of red peeking out from behind my focal image here. So I'm just going to fill these guys in. You can use your brush or your bullet tip, doesn't really matter. I find the brush tip fills in a little quicker. And there we go. There's our red berry. Oh, there's one down here I missed. Don't want to miss a berry. And there's a little hint of one here. We'll do that guy too. There we go. There are our red berries. So that now is going to get glued onto our card front. It's going to overlap our first DSP piece. And the beautiful thing about this gingham paper is you can use it to get your piece straight, which is pretty sweet. So we'll glue that guy on. Okay. Next we have another oval. So these ovals are cut using this die. So again, it cuts out the frame, but then it also cuts the center, which is what I used to cut my white piece. So on this one, we are going to stamp our Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, but this time in cherry cobbler. So I'm going to just do a really thorough job of stamping this off because I forgot to bring my chamois over here. Did I mention I was really discombobulated today? So we're going to go ahead and stamp Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas in the cherry cobbler, just centered on our oval here. And you see what I mean about these being large enough that they can be the focal point on your card. Love when we have large sentiments like this. All right, so then it's really just a matter of assembly. So this one is going to get glued onto our card front. Now it's going to go over a fair ways because we're going to add this gorgeous die cut sprig. This again is cut using the dies, but I cut it from our glimmer paper. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's part of the Holidays Aglow suite. I think it is also not orderable right now. But it is absolutely fantastic. So when it comes back in stock, you're going to want to grab it. So I'm actually just going to put some seal right here. I'm not going to worry about trying to be fussy with this. I'm going to stick it down because this end is going to get covered anyway. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and stick our frame down. So for this, I'm just going to bring in my liquid glue and just kind of run it all the way around my frame here. I'm just going to give myself a little spot that is glue free so I can pick it up without getting glue everywhere. And then we're going to layer this onto our card front, hopefully straight-ish. Okay. Now, this piece I've already stamped and colored. You saw me color the other one. I'll just tell you the colors that I used here. First of all, I stamped this in Evening Evergreen ink. You can use Evening Evergreen Classic ink with your Stampin' Blends. It does not run, which was a very happy discovery that I made. So it's stamped in Evening Evergreen. Then I colored the leaves using the Dark and Light Soft Succulent. My flowers are using the dark cherry cobbler, and then the white flowers are the light So Saffron. They just give a nice ivory look. So this is going to get stuck on sort of around our frame. So I'm just going to kind of layer this here to kind of get an idea of where I want it. Okay. Again, it's going to get stuck down flat. I'm not going to pop this. We are going to pop our sentiment in just one sec. But just to get an idea of where that's going to go, we're going to pop that on just like that. Okay, and then this is going to get popped in the center of our frame. I'm going to use a very stingy 4 dimensionals on this. I know some of you are going, wow, she must go through a lot of dimensionals. And the answer to that would be yes, yes, I do. There is a pack of dimensionals on pretty much every order I place. Because why not? You can never have too many, and you never want to run out. All right, so there's our card front. We are going to go ahead and layer that onto an Evening Evergreen card base. It's 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored in the middle at 5 1/2. So we're gonna pop that, or fold that rather, along our score line, and then we're gonna pop our card front on. Now I'm gonna go slow with my seal. Whenever you are applying seal to an embossed piece of cardstock, you want to go slow, because if you go too fast, the seal will pull up a layer of the cardstock because the embossing weakens it. So just go slow and you won't run into that problem. Okay, so there is my card front. Now we need to embellish a little bit. So we're going to add a bow with this gorgeous window pane ribbon. I feel like it sort of echoes the gingham in the DSP. So I'm going to tie my bow. So I've made my 2 bunny ears. I'm crossing left over right, keeping my loops flat. That is the secret to tying a nice pretty bow. Okay, so keeping your loops flat and then adjusting your loops to get them the size you want. Okay, now this one I actually notched the ends or the tails of my bow. So I'm just going to fold it in half and snip. And then same thing on the other side. Fold in half and snip. Whoops. Oh, that's a little on the long side. Let's snip a little bit more off that one. There we go. And then that is going to get glued just to the bottom of our oval there with a glue dot. So we'll grab a glue dot and stick that guy on just in that bottom corner of the oval. And then we're going to add a bit of bling with a couple of red rhinestones. Now, can't even tell you how many of these things I've gone through this season. They only get used by me during the holiday season. They are the perfect, like, they almost look luminescent. They have so much shine, and to me, they look like little Christmas lights. So I love using them at this time of year because they just shine and shimmer beautifully on a holiday project. Now, I'm adding them to the little sprigs on my die cut there. Now, I only have 2 here, but I'm actually going to add an extra because it feels like there should be 3. So there we go. There is our finished card. You like that one? So are you all a sort of traditional color Christmas, or do you like the non-traditional? You can leave me a comment. I'm always interested to hear how people feel about that. Now on the inside of my sample, I did stamp another sentiment and added just a little scrap strip of the DSP. Great way to use up your scraps. Decorate the inside of your cards. Okay, so let me pull these all back. Then I'm going to give you a little sneaky peek of a class that I just opened registration for today. Now, I should mention this class has a really tight timeline for registration. Registration is only open until November 6th. That is because many of the products that we're using are limited release, right? And I don't want them to sell out. So I'm going to close registration on the 6th and place the order on the 7th. Okay. All right. So let me show you, let me get these out of the way and I'll just quick show you the project for this class. So I actually, I advertised this class as 5 cards, and I actually have an extra that I'm going to be adding because I couldn't resist. I just learned this new fun fold. So to start, simple standard cards. Okay. So we've got a celebrate. We've got a beautiful thank you. We've got a birthday. Okay, so there are the 3 standard cards, and then I've added an extra, so we're going to do 3 fun folds instead of 2. So this first one is a shaker easel card. Love it. Okay, stands up like that. Next one is this oh so cool pop-out book fold. Look at this. Ha! Is that not cool? Look at the way that opens. Love it, and it stands up beautifully on a desk. And then finally, one of my favorite fun folds is this column, what is it? Freestanding column bridge fold, I think it's called. I can't remember. But I love this fold, and I love this paper, and I just think it makes a great holiday card. And on the back, of course, we've got space to write our greetings. So that is the class. All of the registration details are in my newsletter, so check out my page here. I did post a link to my newsletter earlier today, so you can check that out. Also, it will be posted on it's actually on my blog now. It's also on my Stampin' Up website. So if you are interested in this class, get on it. Don't forget, get registered. Sadly, it's only open to Canadians. But if you are interested, get on it before the weekend. Okay. All right. Couple other samples I want to share with you because, I just had too much fun with this suite. This is what happens when I'm left to my own devices. So here's another non-traditional Christmas card. I love this one too. A little bit simpler. This is actually going to be one of the offerings at my November card buffet. Love this one. And then here is a more traditional Christmas card. This one I actually heat embossed on some of the pearlescent paper, which, looks gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. Here is a fun fold. So last week was it last week or the week before, I demonstrated this double Z fold card, simple fun folds. Well, here is one that uses the products from this suite. So love this one, really pretty birthday card. And then finally, this is a fun, quick, easy holiday card. I'm actually going to be posting a reel on this one on Thursday. So there are some more ideas with this fantastic collection. Just keep in mind, many of the products that are in this collection are while supplies last. So jump on them sooner than later. Okay? All right, everybody. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Let me look and see the comments here. What do we got? We got lots of traditionals. Some people like both. Linda likes to mix it up. Rosemary can't decide. She's torn. Jill likes the non-traditional. All right. Well, thanks for sharing your thoughts with me, ladies. Thank you for joining me today. Again, I do apologize for being so discombobulated, but that news today really kind of shook me up in a good way. So thank you so much for watching, for being faithful and showing up every Tuesday. I so appreciate you, and I will see you again next week for another episode of Tuesday Live at 5. Bye for now.